Hello, it's Marvin. Welcome back to Shareback and YouTube, doing the 2025 NFL predictions Week 8. As we get on into Week 8, Week 7, we finished 5-2. Two losses. Two losses. I picked the Vikings over the Eagles last week. They lost 28-22 to the Eagles. And I also picked the Chargers over the Colts. They lost as well. The two losses, the two teams that I picked to win last week. Here with the first game starting out on Thursday Night Football this week. Went 5-2 though in Week 7 though after going 6-1 in Week 6. Big improvement since going 3-4 in Week 5. It's been a good last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks in Week 6 and 7. Get on Week 8 though. Vikings, Chargers, Thursday Night Football. Vikings coming in after losing by 6. Chargers coming in after losing by 14 to the Colts, who are the best team in the NFL this year. Hard to talk about this matchup. Chargers on Sunday, they got banged up on the offensive line quite a bit on Sunday against the Colts. And on a short week, having to turn around and play on a Thursday, I think that's going to be a very big impact to the Chargers with the offensive line. How healthy can the offensive line be? Will they be ready to go with a full group of starters, or will they have to go to backups? They most likely, I think, will. For the Vikings, they're coming off a 6-point loss to the Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions, and the question about them I have for the Vikings is, how do they play on a short week after losing by 6 points? Can they turn around and get a big win? Yes, I think this week is all about both teams on short weeks. For the Chargers, off the line. For the Vikings, can they be the Vikings and play a good game? Overall, I think the Vikings coming into this one, I think have a better chance if the Chargers are banged up on the offensive line, because I think Vikings defense will get to the offensive line of the Chargers no matter what happens. And so, with that being said, I think the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy get a big win here on Sunday. So give me the Vikings here this one on Sunday to start it, on Thursday night to start us out on Thursday Night Football this week. So I take the Vikings over the Chargers at SoFi Stadium on Thursday Night Football. Moving on, it is Kevin Williams and the Bears coming in on a 4-game winning streak to play the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson, Bears and Ravens. Interesting matchup to talk about here on Sunday. Bears coming in on a 4-game winning streak. They just continue to win. I've taken the Bears over the last 2 weeks, and they've played well enough to get wins. The one game was a big win on a last-second field goal against the Commanders on Monday Night Football a few weeks ago in Week 6. Then last week I picked them to beat the Saints because the Saints are not a very good team. The Saints lost. They're 1-6. So I'll talk about the Saints in a minute, though. But focus on the Bears and Ravens. Lamar Jackson, who's always in an MVP race, so far this year for the Ravens, has come off a bit. The Ravens have fallen back. They're letting Steelers and Aaron Rodgers control things. And I think that hurts the Ravens this year. And looking at the Bears on their side, they have Caleb Williams playing good offense. The Bears look like their team winning 4 in a row. When does the winning streak stop? Are the Bears a contender or are they a pretender overall? So far, the Bears, to me, they look like a team that is a contender. But I think they're pretending to be a team that contends in the playoffs. I know I said way back before the season started, I picked the Bears as a wild card team to be the final team in the NFC. I said they would be the number seven seed. I still believe that's true to some extent, but not very much. Though I think that's personally, I think that's maybe only a 60% chance of happening right now with 4 wins in a row. But if the Bears keep on winning, I think they will make the playoffs as a 7 seed. But overall, I think Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, test Caleb Williams and the Bears this week. And I think the Ravens get a win at home on Sunday against the Bears. So give me the Ravens in this one, against the Bears in a close one. I think the Bears keep it close on Sunday. Moving on, 49ers, San Francisco 49ers, Christian McCaffrey, Mac Jones, Brock Purdy starts at quarterback. They're going to Houston, play C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Looking at this one, Houston Texans, not a good team this year. Letting the Colts in the division beat them. And also the Jaguars play better than them. And the Texans, Stroud over the last few years, is a team that's made the playoffs usually. It's usually a mainstay in the postseason. Has not been there this year. For the 49ers, they're doing things with the backup quarterback and Mac Jones because Brock Purdy's big toe injury. And the 49ers, they're doing things. George Kittle came back. Didn't get had a few targets, didn't get any catches though this week or any yards. But Christian McCaffrey, he's one of the hottest running backs. He's back to his old self after missing most of last season. 49ers are back, playing in a tough division, the NFC West, which might be one of the top 2 divisions in the NFL right now, if you ask me. I think the NFC West and NFC North are the best 2 divisions right now in the NFL, if you ask me. But overall, the 49ers are one of those teams I think they could play well. The defense without Fred Warner has shown up, but the 49ers, personally, after winning 20-10 against the Falcons, I think the 49ers, if they continue to build on this team, they're going to be a team that plays well. And I think the question is when Brock Purdy's healthy and bring him back, the question is, how's Brock Purdy going to do over Mac Jones? Do the 49ers go to one of those systems where they have two different quarterbacks play? That might be a tough thing to do for a team. But I think the 49ers get a big win on the road this week in Houston against C.J. Stroud and the Texans on Sunday. Moving on, though, we have the Giants. Rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, the new starter, over to against the Eagles, and Mr. Jalen Hurts. A few weeks ago, these two teams met up in New York, and Jackson Dart's first career start, and he led the Giants to a big win against the Eagles a few weeks back. And this time around, going to Philadelphia, is this turning into a Giants team that could play catch-up, a team that won 3 in a row but lost to the Broncos over the weekend? Or are the Giants one of those teams with a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back, with Jackson Dart at quarterback, Cam Scatterby at running back, and then whatever they have around them with wide receivers and tight ends? Or is it one of those teams where the Giants are a team that's just playing good ball? Or is it just luck they have right now? Overall, I think against the Eagles are a team that I picked against last week because I'm concerned about the Eagles winning one-score games, which they keep on doing for some reason. The Eagles' worst game, you have to go back a few weeks ago. They lost to the Broncos 21-17. Unfortunately, that did not happen. That did not play well for me when I picked them to win. And a few weeks ago, who knows? The Eagles are one of those teams that I feel the Eagles, if they continue playing the way they are, they still can't win by one score every time they play. The Giants were the team that ended that, by the way, with a win a few weeks ago. But overall, I think this time around it's different. It's in Philadelphia. Giants fans are going to come in. It's going to be loud there. Eagles fans and Giants fans, they don't get along. They hate each other. Overall, I think the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, I think they get a win this week. By how much? That's the big question. I think they need to stop winning by one score or less. Because if you keep doing that, you're going to do what the Chiefs did last year by making the playoffs with winning by one-score games. And I think the Eagles, they do that well. And I think they resemble what the Kansas City Chiefs were last year. And that's how the Chiefs made it to the playoffs last year and survived. The Eagles are doing what the Chiefs did last year. And I think that's a good thing for now, but it's not going to help you the whole time. That being said, I do think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles get a big win at home against the Giants here on Sunday. So give me the Eagles. Moving on, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield coming off a loss last night to the Lions. They head to New Orleans this weekend to play the Saints and Spencer Rattler, the quarterback out of Oklahoma, former Oklahoma quarterbacks. 2 Oklahoma quarterbacks going at it. Baker Mayfield and also Spencer Rattler, the 2 starting quarterbacks this week in this matchup. And for this one, for the Buccaneers coming off a loss, 24-9, it's bounce back week. 5-2 record. You have the best record in the NFC South, and you look like you can win a division. This is one of the top teams in the NFL and the NFC, and they continue to win the NFC South. But the question is, for the Buccaneers, can they win on the road? Yes, they can. They will. But in another loud environment, just like Detroit was over last night, New Orleans can be loud when it is loud. But the Saints are having a down year with 1 win and 6 losses, and so that's going to be a big factor, I believe, in this one. At the end of the day, I think Baker Mayfield finds his weapons. Mike Evans is out for the season. That's going to be a big fill in his shoes at the moment. Overall, in this mountain, I see Baker Mayfield getting the job done with other players other than Mike Evans, who was out injured. So I see Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers getting a road win on Sunday. Moving on, Sunday night in Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers. Final year of his career, going up against Packers, Jordan Love, the understudy, the one who studied most of his career in Green Bay. Behind Rodgers, Jordan Love and Rodgers, 2 quarterbacks that I believe this is their first meeting ever as starting quarterbacks against each other. If it isn't, I'm sorry if I get that wrong. But looking at this one, I think it would be fun if Aaron Rodgers, in his final time again against his former team, gets a win against his former team. That would be one of the interesting things to see. Maybe one of the most interesting things to have happen. Overall, I think there is a chance that will happen. because they're playing against Jordan Love and the Packers. Green Bay, though, a few weeks ago in Week 6, they won a game against the Bengals, 27-18. Over the weekend against the Arizona Cardinals, they played a game. I believe they won, but it was hard telling. But looking at this game overall, Packers and Steelers might be one of those games where it's going to be whichever quarterback, Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love, whichever quarterback blinks first. At the end of the day, I think the Packers might have the better team in this matchup, but Aaron Rodgers has proven so far in Pittsburgh that he's taken one last ride in the NFL and getting wins, and that's what he's done so far this year in Pittsburgh. I think the Steelers take it by a field goal at the end of the night, win by 3 at most at the end of the night. So give me the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers in a surprise win against his former team, one last time in his career. I don't think he's played them before, so we'll see. Next up, Monday Night Football, last game of the night, Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels, who was back after a few weeks, going up against Kansas Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Hard to believe we haven't talked about the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes at all this year, but now that the Chiefs are starting to win, they have a full wide receiver group now. They have Rashee Rice, who came back after a year-long suspension from last year, came back. They have Xavier Worthy, who got dinged up over the weekend. The Chiefs, though, did lose an offensive lineman in the matchup on a Sunday over a weekend against the Raiders, who they blew out 31-0. The starters only played 3 quarters, and they gave Gardner Minshew and the rest of the backups a chance to show that they can play as well. In this one, I think the biggest storyline is Jaden Daniels against Patrick Mahomes. And Jaden Daniels, one of those quarterbacks who is learning to be a good quarterback as a former Heisman Trophy winner against teams. He's beaten Jalen Hurts one in his career. Now it's a chance he gets to beat Patrick Mahomes. We'll see. Can he do that? If he can, that would be interesting to see. Washington go on the road and beat Patrick Mahomes. I think that would be one of the most interesting storylines to happen this year for the Commanders, even though I did predict the Commanders are going to be in the playoffs this year. The question is, though, how will Patrick Mahomes do? How's the team going to do? I think the Chiefs will come out firing on all cylinders on Monday night with a good group and great players. I think Mahomes gets Rice a few times, also hits Worthy, and also hits Kelsey. Pacheco, I think, gets on the ground, gets a touchdown as well. At the end of the day, I think the Chiefs beat the Commanders in a close game. I think the Commanders keep it close. I think the Chiefs win this one on Monday night by touchdown. So give me the Chiefs on Monday night in KC for Week 8. Real quick, just a recap who we're taking. First off, we're taking J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings over the Chargers and Justin Herbert. In Baltimore, I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens over the Bears and Caleb Williams. In Houston, I'm taking the 49ers, Mac Jones, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and the 49ers over the Texans and C.J. Stroud. In Philadelphia, I'm taking Jalen Hurts and the Eagles over Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterby and the Giants. In Tampa Bay, I'm taking Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers over Spencer Rattler and the New Orleans Saints. And in Pittsburgh, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers over his former team, and Jordan Love and the Packers. And in Kansas City on Monday Night Football, I'm taking the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes over Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. There you go, 2025 NFL predictions, week number 8. At you, comment below who your favorite team is playing if you think they're going to win this week. And don't forget to watch, like, subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends to do the same if they have not done so yet already. And also, don't forget to hit that notification button below so anyone I upload a new video. With that being said, have a good day, stay safe, and peace out. I'll see you right back here in the Week 9 NFL predictions next Tuesday. Coming up after this video here in a few minutes, I'll have the 2025 NFL prediction Week 8 quick version. And I'll see you in the NFL prediction recap on Monday night after the Chiefs and Commanders game on Monday night. Have a good day, stay safe, peace out. I'll see you in the next one, Week 9, next Tuesday. Bye for now, everyone. Have a good day and stay safe out there. See ya.